Hello all and welcome to the 5 Random Packs Champion of Champions video for the year that was 2020. Yes, we're going to bring back every champion from every episode, pit them all against each other until we have a definitive champion of champion. I'll explain how we'll do that in a minute, but I do just want to present 3 other awards to cards that did not win an episode. So we're going to start off with this Hellboy card here. Now, this Hellboy card has won the award for basically winning a pack but not winning an episode. So it's kind of the best of the rest that didn't win an episode. And I kind of feel a little bit guilty here because this card won over a card which basically won because it was more nostalgic to me personally. However, quality of card wise, it's a foil effect. It's a great drawing of Hellboy. But what really gives it the edge is quite literally the edge of the card. It is shaped like Hellboy as well. Very unique in comparison to all of the other cards that I have seen. So yes, it won a pack, but it didn't win an episode. So it's kind of the best of the rest of the winners of a pack. So that is the award for this Hellboy card here. It's actually a really nice card. Okay, so next up is this Hulk card here. Now, this was actually in episode 17. It didn't win a pack, so therefore, obviously, it didn't win an episode as well, but it didn't win a pack. But out of all of the cards that didn't win a pack, this is the best of the rest. So it's won that award for not winning a pack, but being the best of the rest of all those cards that didn't even win a pack. So yeah, this Hulk card is just great. It is absolutely great, and I feel sorry for it that it come up against the card that it did from its own pack. I love it. It's colourful. It's a card that is a comic book cover as well. I kind of like that sort of card. But unfortunately, it was just bested in its own pack. But it is, without doubt, a great card. Okay, so the last card, which this card beats, won its pack. It won its pack. But of all of the cards that won its pack, this one wins worst card to win a pack. So of all of the 17 cards that won a pack, or not even 17 cards, 17 times 5 out of all of those cards to win a pack, this one was unquestionably, to me, the worst. In fact, the whole pack was terrible. The cards were plain, boring, and to be honest with you, this one, apart from the fact that Lady Penelope card does look pretty awesome, just sort of speeding along the surface of water, a thing a car shouldn't be able to do. Yeah, that looks cool, and that's probably why this card won its pack. It still does look a bit plain, and the horrible thing about every card in that pack, even the card just felt cheap. So please do not buy any Thunderbird the movie cards unless you really, really like the film, because these cards are pretty naff. So yep, this one wins the worst card to win a pack. So there we go. Congratulations for that. So just 3 other awards there that I thought I'd present. Now, going forward here, obviously every card here is a champion from an episode. So what I'm going to do in order to determine a champion of champions is we're going to start off by putting the first 5 here. I'm going to bring them out one by one and put the first 5 here against the wall of Mega Drive games. But then what's going to happen from episode 6 onwards, the cards that I pick from there, I'm going to decide then if it replaces one of the 5 that's in the wall. So obviously it'll be replacing a card that is better than. So if it's better than a card, then obviously that card can't win because it's been replaced by one that's better than it. So then when we get to the end and we're just down to 5 cards, we'll eliminate them one by one until we have our champion of champions. Now what I'm going to do is as I go along, I'm not necessarily just going to pick the worst of the 5 for it to replace, but one that is definitely better than. So if you think I'm replacing it with a card that's worse than it, it just might be that it's better than that one, and I've chosen that one. Also, you can kind of play along with this. As I'm pulling the card out, you can decide if it deserves to go in the wall of the 5 that are already there, and if it's better than any and it deserves its place in that wall. So let's take out these 3 cards here that have won an award. So you can still win an award by being bad, and start bringing out the champions of champions from every episode. And we'll start with the champion of champions. The champion from episode 1, and it's this James Bond card here. Now in that very first episode, I didn't actually pick a favourite at the time from the 5 favourites. I said that I put them all in a binder and analyse the binder at the end of the year. However, I haven't bought the binder, and we're not going to do that. Obviously, I've decided that I think that this is a much better way to pick a best card from the year. So yes, as I say, we'll have the 5 champions of champions out. They're all going to go into the wall one by one, and I picked this from the very first episode. I thought it was a cool action shot, very classy and vintage. Another thing that really helps this card out, double-sided. So it's actually got a picture on both sides, and a nice little thing there is that we've got silver sort of embossed there. Bond, James Bond, the classic saying as well. So it's a nice quality card with a couple of really nice pictures. There he is flying some sort of helicopter without a cockpit, I think. So it's a really cool flying machine. Shut your mouth, Bondy, because you may catch flies. Beware there, fella. So this is the winner from episode 1, and that will go into the wall pretty much by default because there isn't 5 there. So you'll take the first of 5 slots before potential knockings out of cards may happen. Right, I didn't also pick a favourite from episode 2 at the time. It was episode 3 onwards I started picking a favourite from the 5. So all of the other ones have already been predetermined. But episode 2, I decided to pick the card from the Alf pack. Now, I love this card because Alf is from the 80s, I think. And it's quite a very nostalgic TV program to a lot of people, including myself. I remember very vaguely watching it at the time. I watched it more in early 90s because I was born in the early 80s, so my memories of this are more early 90s and late 80s when Alf was, I think, a bit more prominent. Not entirely sure. But yeah, it was just a funny character. I really liked Alf, and to see this portrait of him, I thought, you know what? It was a close contest between another card. The other 3 were nowhere near, but this one did just pip it. A nice, as I say, portrait of Alf has now won episode 2. Okay, episode 3 onwards have winners that were picked at the time, so that and I never changed my mind. You know, it won on the day. It won. Honestly, looking back at some of these, I was kind of thinking to myself, do you know what? I think I made the wrong choice. But honestly, the result from the day stands. Anyway, episode 3 was won for a bit of comedy value, I think. It was won by the Wardrobe Monster from Doctor Who Alien Armies, as said top right there. And I remember at the time, I think I said the same thing in that video. I said it was like a child was given, you know, a premise by someone from the show to create a monster, and they just went and drew this and went, there you go, that's the Wardrobe Monster. It just won from comedy value, absolute 100% comedy value. It's just, yeah, it's cool because it's funny, and obviously it was a little bit better than the other 4 as well. So there we go. So that's going into wall, and that is your first 3. Episode 4 was won by the Family Guy Star Wars episode that was then turned into a set of cards, obviously, and I think it's just the caricatures of the characters. They're just from Family Guy turned into Star Wars. I mean, look at Peter Griffin. There's a stormtrooper. You've got R2D2 there. It's actually Cleveland. It's got hair on, hilarious. And then you've got C3PO there, and that is Brian there as Chewie as well. You've got the Perv Herb there. I think that might be Chris Griffin as the other stormtrooper. Yeah, just love that scenery. Just thought it was quite funny. So I think that was a clear winner from episode 4. There was nothing really that close to it. So that goes into the wall, and we're only one off completing the wall. So card number 5. And card number 5 is this here. Hear me out. Yeah, she's attractive, and obviously that sort of thing is going to catch my eye as a man. But, what was it called? Dawn New Horizons was, yeah, they were definitely the best quality cards from that episode. The other cards in this set were, yes, they were a little bit more revealing. You could argue they were a little bit more slutty. And this one won because, yes, I generally do like the art style, but this one was the art style and it was classy as well. It is classy. And it is just a beautiful drawing. So there was actually a clear winner for me from the pack, and I think it was a clear winner from episode 5 as well. So that goes into the wall, and that is your 5. So every card here onwards, or sticker, from episode 6 onwards, has the job of trying to beat at least one of these and then earn its spot in the wall, and then try to stay there by being better than anything after it. So with that, let's have a look at what won episode 6. And again, this was comedy value, and this was one of those ones I look back on and probably thought maybe something else should have won. It escapes my memory what. But at the time, this made me laugh. I mean, it's stickers to do with thumb wrestling, and each thumb wrestling thing had a character and was given a name. This is Muggsy Thumbscrew, which again is just hilarious to say. And then you've got him saying that, you want a knuckle sandwich. I've just never seen anything like it and found it quite funny. So this is the first sticker, in this case, card or sticker, to try and take something out of the wall. Now, I said that it has to replace something and be better than it. Now, it may not be better than any of them, and therefore can just be put aside and say, unlucky son, not this year. Well, it ain't going to be next year either. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance, man. Opportunity only comes once in a lifetime. So, Has Muggsy Thumbscrew displaced any of these 5? And the answer to that one is quite simply, I'm afraid, Muggsy, it's a no. You are out. Okay, next card. So that episode 7. And these cards were wider ones. They were called widescreen ones and the Godzilla ones. And they were nice cards. I remember the pack as a whole was the best pack as a whole as well. And then this card went on to win. But, I think it had a bit of stiff competition for another one in the pack from what I remember. But, yeah, clear winner. Godzilla's just, again, it's another one of those iconic characters, isn't it, in movie history. And I really like the art. Again, likes the art style. And it's a bit different being big like that, and really like that one. And I think it may displace one of these 5. And to look at it, I think the wardrobe monster's hilarious. I like the art style of that one. Again, Alf facing forward, that portrait probably isn't going to get removed. I'm going to remove one of these 2 here, and I am going. Do you know what? Tough decision already. This is not going to be easy, this episode. I am going to take out the Family Guy card. There we go. Family Guy card was in there and managed to survive one round, but unfortunately Godzilla came along and squashed you all, which probably does to most human beings that are your size. So that goes in to the pile here of, unfortunately, you did not win. So what are we on? Episode 8. Remember episode 8, the cards in it weren't... There was nothing that really stood out a great deal, but the Captain Scarlet thing pinched it because that is very iconic to Captain Scarlet. Obviously, you never saw the Mistrons, but you saw the circles on the ground, and then obviously the voice came over. So, would this Mistrons card replace any of these? I have to say, unfortunately, Mistrons, your voice is not going to be heard no more. You are not replacing any of those cards in the wall. So next up from episode 9 is this Sons of Anarchy card, and it was always going to have a good chance because I've watched the entire series, I think it's 10 series of Sons of Anarchy, and I absolutely loved it. I never really got bored once. They always left me wanting to watch the next one. I was going to say cliffhangers are plenty. Great ending as well. No spoilers here, just in case you haven't seen it. But I believe that is Jax Teller. Obviously, the Sons of Anarchy logo involves skulls, and it's just a really classy card and really nice image from the films. So, is this Sons of Anarchy card going to displace any of the 5? And I have to say yes. And I'm going to take out Bond. James Bond is going to be removed and be replaced by Jax Teller Sons of Anarchy card, which looks pretty cool. Now, episode 10, do you know what? I look back on this with a little bit of regret at the time. I think I was just sort of a little bit carried away in the moment. There was an interactive card in which I was asked to make a Doodle Wonka. That's exactly what this fella is called. So I made this Doodle Wonka for episode 10, and it beat a card which probably it shouldn't have done. So unfortunately, I've decided for you, Doodle Wonka, that even though you came from a pack of cards, you probably shouldn't have won your episode, and you're probably not really 100% considered a trading card. And I think, you had your moment, you managed to get through an episode somehow, but I'm afraid you are the winkiest link. Goodbye, you're not replacing any of those. Now onto the card that the Hellboy card beat. And as I say, it was beaten by the pure nostalgia of the fact that I'm a big wrestling fan. And there's a lot going on in this card. The Rock is coming through a crowd of people. It's obviously from the era where Stone Cold got run over and they were still trying to work out who it was. Was it someone that did it for The Rock? Hey, Rikishi. So, yeah, spank my rock bottom. And then someone decided that they want to say ooh Martin and the word set with an arrow down. But for me, wrestling has never been greater than it was in the Attitude Era. It's certainly not like anywhere near it was now. And yeah, Attitude Era is amazing. And I just thought this card was absolutely brilliant to look at. And yeah, there we go. Is it the Rock pack of cards, or was it a wrestling? I think no, it was actually a wrestling pack of cards, and this is just the Rock. Oh no, it's the Rock Solid cards. Might have been well been. Can't remember exactly. But is this going to displace any of these cards from the wall? And you know what? I was going to say, I have nostalgia for wrestling, and as funny as the Wardrobe Monster is, I don't have nostalgia for Doctor Who. It's not my thing. Nothing against it, just not my thing. I think this is actually going to replace the Wardrobe Monster. So out you come. Sorry, Wardrobe Monster. But yep, you're the weakest link now. Goodbye. How many times am I going to say that in this episode? Right, so cards have been replaced, but we still have a couple from the original lineup here that are going. That's the word. Right, so I forgot what number we're on now. I think was it 12? Anyway, massive nostalgia here. Again, I said I'm a big wrestling fan. It's probably not better than the Attitude Era, but obviously the early days when wrestling characters were proper characters. You had Animal and Hawk, you had the Legion of Doom, and this was just full of nostalgia. This time period is what got me into wrestling, so obviously I am very much loving this sticker. And Legion of Doom were probably, no probably about it, they were my favourite tag team of the time as well. And it just absolutely stole that episode for me, I think, in the end. I might have ummed and ahed, can't remember now, it was a long while ago. But yeah, love the Legion of Doom. Do I love the Legion of Doom to make them replace anybody that is currently in the wall? Do you know what? I have to say, this is a tough decision now because these 5, I all really like all of these cards. I really do. We've already got one wrestling card there. So is that crowd scene? Do you know what? I feel like I should keep it between the wrestling cards if I'm going to replace it. So do I think this card is better than The Rock walking through a crowd in the Attitude Era? Do you know what? This got me into wrestling, and I think those characters are brighter and better than this image. I really do. So actually, The Rock only just got in, so he's going to come back out of the wall and be replaced by the Legion of Doom. Okay, so next up, I've lost track of numbers here. I'll have to excuse me. Pamela Anderson in Barbed Wire. Now, you might be thinking, oh yeah, we know why you picked that. And I'm not going to lie, a couple of things in this card do stick out to me. That's right. A couple of things being that it's raised. It's not just a picture of a card. And it's double-sided. See, told you, a couple of things really stood out to me. It's an awful film. I've got to be honest with you. It is an awful film. It's not the greatest. But is it better, this card, despite the fact it's an awful film, than any of the 5 that are in the wall? And I tell you what, it has to be better than The Other Lady, really, doesn't it? And as, honestly, Pamela, you were stunning in that era, and you looked amazing. You were every young boy's crush, I think. But you then have to look at this card here, and which one do I prefer? I actually prefer the drawing. I think the drawing is better. And as I'm going to say, I love the artwork. I think it's pretty amazing. So, Pammy, you haven't beaten this card. And if you're not beating this card, I can't make you beat any of the other cards. So you are coming out. Well, you're not even going into the wall. You're going into the pile. Going into the pile of congratulations for winning an episode, but you're not champion of champions. Okay, next up, we've got Stinky Donkey. Foil card. I think this episode was a bit of an even episode without anything really standing out. And I don't know if I remembered to scratch and sniff at the time. So let's scratch and sniff now. It probably smells of nothing. Yeah, it just smells of very weak washing up liquid, to be honest with you. But it won because it had a foil effect, and the foil effect was quite nice, you know, at the end of the day. But yeah, I pretty much already sort of touched on the fact that he's very unlikely to win this episode. You know, because it kind of won a little bit by default with a very even contest that day. I think it come up against another Shrek card or sticker. So sorry, Donkey, you're not replacing anything. You're going straight into this pile down here. Now the next one is from the Toxic Crusaders, and we're coming to the end. This is episode 15, and this Toxic Crusaders card is one of the holographic things. There we go. I think that's the best angle to hold out to see what's going on. And it probably won because it was exactly that. It's a holographic card. However, you can peel it off and it's a sticker as well. So it's a dual purpose card. But apart from being a hologram, that picture to me is nothing really that special. So with regards to it replacing anything in the wall, I am going to give it a resounding no, I'm afraid. Which kind of surprised. When I first saw it, I thought, you know what, that's cool. And then as I pulled it out against a 5 here that are really nice, I thought to myself, do you know what? No, not happening. Episode 16. And I think this was another even episode. It was hard to pick between 2 at the very end. And I went for this one because it's just a bit nuts. There is kind of all sorts of crap going on this one. We've got a bucket with its hands on its apparent hips with no eyes. And then we've got an eye over here. God knows how he stays alive by eating because he's got no mouth. We've got a fax machine on wheels, which probably eats paper to stay alive. And then you've got a pen with eyes that can talk, as so can a spoon. It's ironic the spoon is wearing a chef's hat. Is it ironic or is it just meant to be? But anyway, this card I think won the episode just because it was just so random and a lot was going on. However, with regards to a lot going on, it's not going to win through quality. It's not going to win through quality. It can't replace any of the cards in the wall. Have to say that now. So it's going to have to go into the pile of congratulations for winning an episode. But unfortunately, again, I'll say it again, why not? You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And now, finally, the winner of episode 17, the very last episode of 2020, the card that beats another awesome card from its pack. So I do love the foil effect of this one. You got Hulk punching through a wall with the 3D effect. It's done really well. As I say, it's a foil card. Everything about this card is really nice. I like it a lot. So do you know what? It is definitely better than one of those 5. But which 5? It comes to the point now where I can't just take a card out because it's better than that one, but not necessarily the card is the worst in the wall. So it's almost like I'm going to have to take out of the wall a 6th place. And I'm going to give that 6th place basically to, I'm going to give it to the Sons of Anarchy card. You know, it's tough. Again, that is, to me, that's quite artistic and really nice. I really do like that. But unfortunately, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. I'm not sponsored by them. So we have your final 5. We have what I call my 5 best cards from the year out of every card I've opened in this series and cast my eye over. I've taken the mick out of some of you, but it's only been in jest because you are actually good. So now, geez, this is hard already. We're going to have to start whittling these down one by one. So which card is going to be in 5th place? I'm just moving that aside. Christ, it is tough. I love the artwork of that. It's got loads of nostalgia behind it. So is that. That card is really cool. So in 5th place, I am going to kind of eradicate a little bit of nostalgia here. So you already know I'm talking about one of these 2. Now, I have more nostalgia because I'm a massive wrestling fan for the Legion of Doom. So unfortunately, Alf, your time is up, but you've come in the top 5. You've finished in the top 5. You have everything to be proud of. You never met a cat you didn't like for dinner. So go find a cat, knock yourself out, treat yourself, and celebrate the fact that you finished in the top 5, which is nothing to frown upon. It's not too shabby a result, my friend. But there we go. So we have in 5th place, we have at the Alf card. So we are down to 4. Now, I've just spoken about nostalgia not winning over quality. So, does the nostalgic one have the quality to beat any of the other 3? And do you know what? I totally forgot about the Godzilla card. I've got to be honest with you. I totally forgot about that Godzilla card. And it's kind of thrown me off a little bit. I remembered this and knew that had a good chance because obviously it was the very last episode. And it's still rightfully there due to its quality. As I say, it beat a quality card to be here. So, unfortunately, it's nostalgia that's going to be eliminated. And finishing 4th place for 2020 is this Legion of Doom sticker of Animal and Hawk. And obviously, rest in peace. So we're down to the final 3. Here is your top 3, the best 3 cards that have crossed my eyes in 2020. So we're going to have to go for a 3rd place. So what is going to be 3rd place out of these 3? Again, honestly, it is difficult. It is so difficult right now because I'm loving them all. And again, do you know what? We've ended up with 3 cards that I picked for their art style. Says a lot for trading cards. Art style is obviously kind of a key thing. So eliminating in 3rd place. Oh, in 3rd place. I literally am changing my mind every second. So the card that is going to finish in 3rd place for the year. And you know what? It's probably, I'm looking at it, and the reason why I'm eliminating it is because of the background. I've looked at what is in the whole of the card, and the one that has the plainest background, despite the art style of it being absolutely fantastic, is this one here from, keep forgetting it, Dawn New Horizons. So Dawn New Horizons, you have finished in 3rd place, which is not bad at all. That would get you a medal at the Olympics, but you're just a piece of cardboard. So no medals here, but honestly, Lovely card, great art style. But, we're down a couple of monsters. We are down to a couple of monsters. And I don't mean the energy drinks, which I drink by the bucket load. We are down. Do you know, this has really taken me by... I forgot all about it. So we're down to Godzilla versus the Hulk. There is a battle for all ages, isn't it? It's a battle for the ages there. So let's bring them forward a little bit. And things... So this card's a little bit unique. It is bigger. And then we've got the Hulk smashing through the building as well. And that's got a little bit of a foil effect to it as well. So it's got a little bit of a shiny thinking about it. Illustrated film series, I think it might have been one of the more uncommon cards from its specific set of cards. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But it might be because it's an IF04 card. Whereas I think this is just one of the standard cards from its deck. Yeah, it's just number 63. So, here is your head-to-head. It's Godzilla versus the Hulk. I get the feeling a lot of people are gonna sort of be guessing what I'm going for here and thinking that I'm going to be going for the Hulk. Are you right? Is this your champion for 2020? Or is it Godzilla? And by total surprise, catching me out of the blue, I'm going to give it, out of these two, I like the Godzilla card more. I really like that art style. It's very well drawn. There's a lot going on in the background. It's the size of the card as well is winning it out for me. And it's pipped it. It's absolutely pipped it. And I'd forgotten all about it. And it's come out of nowhere. That is a brilliant card. Great drawing. I absolutely love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, 5 random packs, Champion of Champions for 2020 is this Godzilla card. And yeah, forgot all about it. Totally surprised me. I mean, if you disagree with anything at any point, I mean, final 2, the Hulk was in it. If you disagree with the final 2 and think it should have been the Hulk, please do comment below. If you think any card was unfairly eliminated, do you want to start a campaign to say the Doodle Wonka was unfairly treated? Shouldn't have won this episode in my eyes. Please, if you think any card should have won, then let me know. But for all those that you stay to the end, I've got a little... Do you know what? I've decided that I'm going to do a little competition here. I need to keep this card because you never know, in 5 years' time, if this series keeps going for 5 years, I could have a champion of champions. So I'm going to be keeping this card. But if you would like to win every card that didn't win Champion of Champions but won its episode, with the exception of Godzilla, because he may be needed in the future, comment below. But you're not just going to get these. You're going to get these 3 cards here that won an award as well. And do you know what? I'm actually a little bit sad to say goodbye to some of these because I really do like them that much. So if you would like to win this pack of cards or this chunk of cards, just comment below saying that you'd like to win and which card you like the most that didn't win. Something like that. Just give me a little bit of a comment below, and then what I'll do is anyone that says I want to win and puts a healthy comment below about what they've seen in this episode, then I'll put your name in a random name generator and draw you out random and then send them to you. You just need to either know me very well and already have contact with me, or have a Twitter or Instagram handle and provide that in your comment as well so I can contact you if I don't know who you are. It's open to everybody. So if you'd like to win this chunk of cards because you've enjoyed this series or for whatever reason, then that's all you need to do. But ladies and gentlemen, your champion of champion for 2020, going forward to a potential competition years down the line, is this Godzilla card. And ladies and gentlemen, that just leaves me to say, if you have enjoyed 5 random packs and you want to enjoy the series, it's all there in its own individual playlist. Please do check it out if you missed an episode or whatever. You just want to relive some highlights, go for it. But finally, I think this just leaves me to say, honestly, thank you very much for watching. And as always, please do take care, winner.